So I don't know how this video is going to go. I don't know what is going to be produced at the end of it. I have some feelings that I wish to get off my chest in relation to Chris Brown. He recently played in Glasgow, and that brought up, a lot of feelings of anger towards him. And then I watched a few interviews with people who were going to the concert. They were unabashedly in favour of Chris Brown. Maybe that's not fair. They either played ignorance or just didn't seem to understand the severity of his allegations or what he's been actually convicted of in his career. And that's what I hope, because if they do understand the allegations and they are still continuing to support him, then I think a lot needs to be said about that. Like how this human being, I can't even call him a human being, how this monster, this horrible, horrible person has allowed to continually have a career. It baffles me. It baffles me beyond belief that this man, who is a serial abuser, allegedly, alright, there is some cases that have been kind of thrown out or settled outside of court, but you look through his rap sheet and he is a horrendous person, and he is allowed to book out places like the National Stadium of Scotland, and from what I hear, it done quite well ticket wise, but people attending that, like, I'm glad people were there actually asking the questions of, like, do you know about him? Do you know what he's done? And there's a few points that I want to kind of take from what I saw in the interviews. So the first one was a few of the people gave the answer, I just like his music. All right, I just like his music, and I can separate the music to the person. I don't understand how you can do that. I don't understand how you can support someone by listening to the music. Yeah, it might be catchy, but surely that is outweighed. Like, you can find plenty of other catchy songs by other artists who are not alleged abusers, or in this case, a convicted one, because he got convicted for the Rihanna attack. Like, how you can support him and go to his concert, sing his songs, and scream when he, I don't know, shouts out Glasgow. It just goes beyond, like, it kind of sums up our society at the minute a wee bit. How we're able to sweep things under the rug just so we can have some sort of sense of happiness. Because there is a lot of crap going on in the world. There's a lot of horrendous things going on in the world, but we can just sweep it under the rug. And the worst thing from the interviews was, it was one woman, and she just didn't come across very well, and then she ended with this, and this is verbatim what she said. We do like a bit of a bad boy, don't we? I was actually left speechless and gobsmacked at how you could say that about someone like Chris Brown. By the definition, yeah, he's a bad boy, but he is so far beyond that, to the point of, like, how it just baffles me how you can say something like that when he has been known to be multiple across his career. If you look up his rap sheet, it is so many different acts of criminality, not just abusing women. There's been in fights with other artists, been fights with, like members of the public. There's so many. He is just a horrible person, and yet you can say, oh yeah, we like a bit of a bad boy, don't we? Like, as a teacher, okay, and I'm trying to look at this from a teacher's point of view. As a teacher, how can we teach the youth of today right from wrong, when wrong so often in our society is rewarded? Like, you look at so many different celebrities who have done wrong and are yet still allowed to have a position, an even elevated position. You think of Donald Trump, you think of Logan Paul, or the Paul brothers, whatever one. You think of, there's just a list of people you go through, and you're trying to teach these kids right from wrong, and yet these celebrities who can abuse women, can, say the most horrendous things, can do the most horrendous things, are not only allowed to continue, but allowed to profit and allowed to be successful in a society that props them up. And the last thing I want to say is, like, obviously, if you have been, I think one of the best things that I think I saw someone post about it was, Chris Brown won't notice if you're at his concert, but people who have been abused will. So if you were posting pictures, enjoying yourself at a Chris Brown concert, then you are saying, unwillingly, you might not know, but you might know, and that would be worse, that you allow this man to get away with what he's done in society. He's been allowed to take and take and take, abuse, and you can support that. Like, there should be no grey area. This isn't a grey area matter. He is a horrendous person, and yet he is allowed allowed to, like, if this was a normal person, would we have the same issue? No. They wouldn't be allowed back into their job. They'd have a criminal record that would prevent them from getting a job, and rightly so. Yeah, that's just all I kind of have to say on the matter. I hope that it is something that we can change about our society and start really actually taking these people to task. But if you saw the latest, like, you need to look the past couple of weeks, like the Diddy trial, he got away with it. Jeffrey Epstein tapes, they're trying to portray it as if he's getting away with it, or not they're getting away from it, but the people he was involved with are getting away with it. It is it's a frustrating, it's disheartening. It's disheartening as someone who is trying to, like, I've always had a kind of glass half full kind of mentality to life, and I am cynical, don't get me wrong, but yeah, it's demoralising when you are trying to act a certain way in society. You're trying to be a good person, and I'm no saint by any stretch of the imagination. I've made many mistakes, but when I'm trying to hold myself in a certain way, and you see people like this getting away with it, not being rewarded for it is a lot to say, but they are. They're not being rewarded, they're being obviously reprimanded, but then they're allowed to reap those rewards later down the line when everyone's kind of forgotten about it. It is worrying times in our society, and I just kind of had to get this off my chest. So I'm just going to say, what do you think? What do you think about what I've said? Just talk about it in the comments below. Yeah. Bye bye.